Hi everyone, I'm Looby Macnamara calling in from Applewood Permaculture Centre, and I'm really grateful for the ability to hear bird language and to connect with the birds here, which is something I've learnt from you, John.
Yeah, well, I'm here in the Santa Cruz Mountains and on our home property. And just, speaking of bird language, just a moment ago, a Cooper's hawk came in and I heard all the birds have that flurry of activity. And, I was like, okay, there's a Cooper's hawk coming. And seconds later, there he was. So I'm also thankful for the birds and for the productivity in these mountains and, the return after the fires that burned through here several years ago. Just the amount of life that's here is just really, really awesome. Hey, we're hoping you'll check out our peace course, which is peace, empowerment, and cultural emergence. And there's this notion like, okay, well, what is this? Well, in a sense, the definition of peace in the work that I do in deep nature connection, the very definition of it is, when we feel that state inside that we might get from going on a beautiful camping trip, along a river somewhere for 3, 4 days, and by the day three, you start to feel like, I've arrived. Ah, yeah. And then day four, it's like, I don't want to go home. This feeling is so good, right? So I think maybe you've all kind of had that moment. Um, and you could think about what we're going to be doing in the Peace Course. At least part of it is to actually make it so no, you don't have to wait till day three. Maybe you'll get it there on day two. Or what if you could get it on day one? Or even better, what if you could just have it all the time? So that's what we'll be exploring and that's what we'll be practicing. But wait, how do you do that online? We're not all camping by a river together. I said, right. It's kind of funny because when the pandemic hit and I had to do nature connection programming, but I wasn't going places to meet people in nature, all of a sudden it was like, well, I either offered online or I just pack it in, right? And everyone's like, no, no, we need this, we need this. And what came out of it was the exercises that we offered to people, they got to do them instead of, packing their car and driving somewhere and going through all of that. All of a sudden they were able to do it in their own backyard. They were able to do it in their own garden, in the little forest around their house, all right there. And that's what the pandemic taught was that not only can you do it, but it's almost more powerful because you're doing it at home. Then you're coming back together with people and we're using all the cultural emergence principles to really lift up and empower each other in that beautiful space that we've cultivated within ourselves. And we're sharing our stories and reflecting with each other. And what's happening is we're growing what I would call sort of a more conscious competence in how we get to peace, as opposed to accidentally on day three while camping, I found it, right? No, we can actually figure out what causes what to happen. And therefore we can have agency in making sure that that's growing within us as individuals, but then we're also able to nourish our families and our teams with that feeling. So it's actually really quite powerful and really beautiful. And I think your home environment will come to life in ways that you didn't expect.
Yeah, well, the principle that comes to me is this one of tend to your own personal culture. And that's, what you were saying, that we'll be in our own personal lives, in our home environments, and we'll be able to really embed nature connection and all the connection practices into our personal culture. And we'll be using, as you said, the seed deck and all the principles of cultural emergence. We'll be giving and receiving encouragement for each other and really exploring all the nature connection practices, and then also exploring your toolkit of the eight shields models from Coyote's guide. So we'll be really diving deep into these connection practices and into cultural emergence as well. So all the practices that nourish and empower us and can support us on this journey. So it's going to be really rich field of encouragement that we co-create together, that brings this nourish and empowerment deep into your body, deep into your home life, and it's just going to be a really beautiful experience. So I do hope you can join us, and we'll be having live calls as well as online material that you can do at your own pace. And live calls, so I've got ones with you, John, and then ones at a different time zone for our Australasian friends, which I'll be co-leading with Leona Johnson, who I do the in-person deep dives with. So it's going to be, yeah, loads of ways to connect and support your nature connection journey.
It's going to be fun. Please join us.